Namaste all. Today we are having a small session on transportation in plants. We have discussed earlier how plants take in simple compounds such as carbon dioxide and photosynthesize energy stored in their chlorophyll containing organs, namely leaves. The other kinds of raw materials needed for building plant bodies will also have to be taken up separately. For plants, the soil is the nearest and richest source of raw materials like nitrogen, phosphorus, and other minerals. The absorption of these substances therefore occurs through the part in contact with the soil, namely roots. So, roots absorb all the required materials. If the distance between soil containing organs and chlorophyll containing organs are small, energy and raw materials can easily diffuse to all parts of the plant body. Imagine a coconut tree, the root and the leaves, the distance. Is it very near? No. But if these distance become large because of changes in plant body design, diffusion process will not be sufficient to provide raw material in leaves and energy in roots. A proper system of transportation is therefore essential in such situations. Energy needs differ between different body designs. Plants do not move and plant bodies have a large proportion of dead cells in many tissues. As a result, plants have low energy needs and can use relatively slow transport systems. The distances over which transport systems have to operate, however, can be very large in plants such as very tall trees. I mentioned coconut tree. Plant transport system will move energy stores from leaves and raw materials from roots. Normally, they conduct raw materials from the root to the leaf and prepare the food from the leaves to all the parts including roots. These two pathways are constructed as independently organized conducting tubes. One, the xylem moves water and minerals obtained from the soil, that is upward, only one direction. The other, phloem, transport products of photosynthesis from the leaves where they are synthesized to other parts of the plant. Phloem transport materials to all the parts of the plant body. They are multidirectional, whereas xylem is unidirectional. We have studied the structure of these tissues in detail in class 9. I hope you remember about the structure of xylem and phloem. Xylem having 4 different kinds of cells or tissues. Phloem also having 4 different types. You remember that. Transport of water. In xylem tissue, vessels and tracheids of the roots, stems and leaves are interconnected to form a continuous system of water conducting channels reaching all parts of the plant. Water from the soil to the leaf. Xylem having 4 kinds of tissues: xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers, vessels, xylem vessels and tracheids. Here mention about vessels and tracheids. At the roots, cells in contact with the soil actively take up ions. This creates a difference in the concentration of these ions between the root and the soil. Water therefore moves into the root from the soil to eliminate these differences, and this means that there is a steady movement of water into root xylem, creating a column of water that is steadily pushed upwards. It is called a suction pull. However, this pressure by itself is unlikely to be enough to move water over the heights that we commonly see in plants. Plants use another strategy to move water in xylem upwards to the highest points of the plant body. Provided that the plant has an adequate supply of water, the water which is lost through the stomata is replaced by water from the xylem vessels in the leaf. Transpiration, water is losing from the stomata in the form of transpiration. In fact, evaporation of water molecules from the cells of a leaf creates a suction which pulls water from the xylem cells to the root, that is called a suction pull. The loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of the plant is known as transpiration. Upside part, that is aerial part, is called transpiration. Thus, transpiration helps in the absorption and upward movement of water and minerals dissolved in it from roots to the leaves. It also helps in temperature regulation. The effect of root pressure in transport of water is more important at night. During the day, when the stomata are open, the transpiration pull becomes the major driving force in the movement of water in the side. So, next one, transport of food and other substances. So far, we have discussed the transport of water and minerals in plants. Now, let us consider how the products of metabolic process, particularly photosynthesis, are moved from leaves, where they are formed, to other parts of the plant. This transport of soluble products of photosynthesis is called a translocation. Soluble particles are transported. The process is called a translocation, and it occurs in the part of the vascular tissue known as phloem. Besides the products of photosynthesis, the phloem transport amino acid and other substances. It is important, amino acid and other substances are also transported by phloem. These substances are especially delivered to the storage organs of roots, fruits and seeds, and to growing organs. The translocation of food and other substances takes place in the sieve tubes with the help of adjacent companion cells, both in upward and downward direction, both directions. You remember phloem having 4 kinds of cells: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers and phloem parenchyma. Unlike transport in xylem, which can be largely explained by simple physical forces, the translocation in the phloem is achieved by utilizing energy. Materials like sucrose is transferred into phloem tissue using energy from ATP. This increases the osmotic pressure of the tissue, causing water to move into it. It is active transport using energy. This pressure moves the material in the phloem to tissues which have less pressure. This allows the phloem to move materials according to the plant's need. For example, in the spring, sugar stored in the root or stem tissue would be transported to the buds, which need energy to grow. You are provided with 2 videos along with this. Please go through the video and understand the content in detail. Thank you.